It's almost funny to me when I hear people complain about Zimus and something like Zimus is a good card, ergo Zimus shouldn't exist. Zimus annoys me. I'm not going to prepare for him. The problem with that sort of approach is there are always good cards. Like, that's just how card games work. There's always going to be 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 meta defining cards in every card game I've ever played, and you have to play around those cards. And if you don't, then you're going to lose. Like, that's just how card games work. And Zimus, in my opinion, is not that hard to play around. And people still continue to complain about him endlessly. It's interesting because I'm realizing more and more the weakness of this deck is Simulacrum. Like, the rest of the deck's pretty strong. You know, you can go Oracle into Energy Surge, which helps you get your Zimus 3s out. Simulacrum's not very good. I kind of disagree with that, Poitras. I don't think it's a playing the answers. I mean, that's one of the things that I put in my article. It's about playing the game correctly when you see Zimus and having a way in your deck to put it into high gear. That you can't beat Zimus by ignoring the fact that they're playing Zimus. You have to play quickly. You have to know there's a clock on the game now and change the way you're playing. And I shouldn't say that. It's not quite like that. You have to have a way to change how you're playing. You have to have an upper gear in your deck. If you don't have that, then you're in trouble. Or you could do like Turkus is saying and have direct answers. Sap is a really good one. Another good one is Justicar. You could just go all in on Justicar if you want. Uh-oh. This is a little worrisome. Let's see. Simulacrum. Zimus. Simulacrum seems really, really bad in this matchup. It's always out of Race Will's range, but not by a lot. I don't have a great target for Oracle. If I did, I would play Oracle if I had Energy Surge or Pact or Grave. I'm not that excited about the other one, so I am going to sort of stick with the plan and lose. But I do want to kind of get this deck out of my system, and if I don't play the Simulacrums, then I feel like I'm not really playing this game or this deck for what it is. And I'd rather just be able to kind of say, okay, I tried it, doesn't work, moving on. Or, tried it, works, and we're sticking with it. Darn. Well, I mean, I guess I could go Deathweaver, Shallow Grave. And I kind of like that, actually. Getting Shallow Grave leveled, getting a bigger Deathweaver, as long as it doesn't pop in 2, is pretty sweet. So yeah, I can be pretty happy with that. Now, if you would just kill my Simulacrum, I would really appreciate it, Bunny of Chaos. Yeah, I agree, Phoenix. Zimus loses to races. That is, in my opinion, how to beat Zimus. I don't think Zimus makes the game unfun at all. I think Zimus makes the game very interesting. You just have to, like I said, you have to have that second gear, and you have to be willing to build a deck that has a second gear, and you just can't ignore the fact that Zimus exists in the meta. And that's what I think, and this is one of the things I talk about in the article, is that I think a lot of newer players build cool decks, right? So they sit down, they say, I came up with a cool deck, and it's a cool little machine, and it's fun, and I really like it, and that's great. But cool little machines usually don't win in competitive play. And I think that's the difference. Like, you have to figure out what are you playing for. And so my article is specifically designed to help you play in a competitive environment. Now, I don't have a problem at all if you want to build a cool little machine and ignore Zimus and not play competitively. That's fine. That's totally your right. But when you're playing competitively, you can't complain that the cool machine you built doesn't engage the metagame and loses to Zimus because Zimus is, quote, too good. Zimus isn't too good. You are just not fully engaging the meta as you are building your deck. And that's one of the problems that SoulForge faces right now with the way the queues are set up. The constructed queue is obviously competitive meta. The tournaments are obviously competitive. The problem is there isn't a great way for people to play their cool little machines in a fun way. And that, I think, is one of the frustrations that people run into. Is like, I built, for me, my example I give in the article is Shambler. I love Shambler. Shambler is terrible. He just isn't good. And there's no real format in which he is good. And so sometimes I'll take him into the random queue just for fun. And then it's frustrating when your opponent plays an amazing top tier deck and crushes your Shambler deck. And then other times they don't. They play some random fun little machine that they built, and then you actually have a game where they're playing their fun machine, you're playing your fun machine, and then it's kind of a crazy game that doesn't really count, but it's fun. And that to me is where it feels like the disconnect comes in, is that people want to be able to play a fun machine that ignores Zimus. Zimus exists, and they've tried to ignore him. You just can't ignore Zimus. He's a card that can't be ignored. And as long as you take that mindset of I cannot ignore Zimus, I think you'll be happier with the game, actually. There's a lot of solutions to Zimus. So this is not one. He went 3.1 Zimus, 3.1 Shaper. So, I mean, that's really, really going to be tough for me to come back from. I'm not sure that I'll be able to. I really needed my own Zimus 3 there, actually. Or at least a Deathweaver. I really don't know what to do here. I feel like I'm pretty dead. At least Simulacrum will jump there. So I guess that's what we'll do. I'll have to reduce him. What do I do? I guess I block with Oracle to level the Pact. And this game is probably going on a while. So what you're saying is that the problem is Zimus doesn't have Friday Night Magic and friendly, fun environments. Yeah, I mean, I don't consider it a problem because to me, I play competitively. What I'm saying is that I think that some people want that format, and that format doesn't exist. And for those people, I think it is kind of a problem. For me, it's not a problem at all. I don't care about that format. It's not a format that interests me. I pretty much play the game because it's a way for me to be competitive about something. And I'm just a competitive person. I need something that is highly competitive. I just have to have something like that in my life. And for right now, that becomes SoulForge. Actually, I think the better play here is maybe to move Simulacrum over and then Gox in the middle. I don't think leaving Simulacrum here does that much for me. And this way Gox maybe will be standing still. And in fact, we'll just move her over. Nope, we don't want to move her over. Because I want him to be standing. I don't want Zimus to pop in front of him. I really have to get another Zimus. There we go. And then by another one, I mean 1. But look at that. That's how you get multiple Zimus 3s. Got a shot now, baby. Got a shot now. Zimus 3, Shallow Grave. Come on, man. I mean, I said it's a problem for other people. I just said for me, it's not a problem. All right. Oh, no. He's not going to die? No. Oh, that is the worst feeling in the world. Oh, man. How devastating. That's too bad. If I had put that in the middle, which I almost did. But I was like, well, it's probably going to be a level 1, knowing how it happens with me, and then it'll just die to the Blightwalker. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I can't believe I missed having 2 Zimus 3s on the board in 1 turn. Oh, it makes me sad. That's what it does. It makes me sad. Oh, well. And I see that you are sarcastically referring to the fact that he has Zimus 3s and beating me with them. But the problem is, my deck is not built to beat Zimus 3 by racing him. It's built Zimus 3 by getting more Zimus 3s through Energy Surge. And so that's the decision that I made in how I was going to beat Zimus. Now, it hasn't worked, but that was my decision. So I am losing to Zimus because of the way I designed this deck. So I like the fact that I'm losing to Zimus. He got really lucky in getting his Zimus and Shaper early, but it is by design that he got there. Like, I let him get to Zimus. I knew he would get a Zimus 3. I just had to hope that I would take advantage of it and get to it first. But I was not able to. And his deck is even better because he all along has been preparing for the moment when our Zimuses would tangle by leveling Botanimate. So he's just played flat out. I don't want to say played better, but he has built a deck that is much better suited for this matchup than my deck. My deck is okay for the matchup. His is very well designed for the matchup. What do I want to do with Cercee? I don't have really much removal. It's pretty tough. So we're back around. So he's got Botanimate again. So Cercee may not get going anyway. If I go Simulacrum into 1, kill that Shaper, put Cercee in 3, he can just move out of the way and play someone in front of Cercee. That doesn't work that well. I really feel like I don't know. I actually don't have a great spot for her. I don't know. I actually don't know how to play this. I think I want to go Deathweaver in 5. Not take the damage from him. I could just kill Devour with the Simulacrum. I could put Cercee in 1, kill Shaper. The problem is I only have 1 move. So best I can do, I mean, you can just clog 1 and 2, and then I can't really do much with her. If I stick her in 3, he just moves Predator over. I don't know. I don't feel like I have a great spot for her. I think what I will do, maybe I could go Simulacrum all the way to 1, Cercee in 4, Deathweaver 5. I guess I'll do that. He's going to move out of the way anyway. This way, I can at least have it in a spot where taking the least damage while I try to make this happen. Problem is, you are only... I just have to draw some name, single card that dominates everything. I disagree. It's really not until level 3 where a single card can dominate anyway. Wow. Okay, he's gonna get... He must not have played the second card. Or did he? I think he did, actually. He played that wrong. I actually win with Cercee 4. Oh my goodness. Can't believe it. Yeah, and that is the misconception that somehow Zimus is the problem. There's always a card, guys. I'm telling you. I've played a lot of games. There's always a card that's over the curve because that's just how games work. There's always a card over the curve. And here we go. Boop, boop, boop. All right. There we go. Cercee 4 for the win. And I agree. Zimus is probably the most beatable top card I've seen to date. It is not that good. I'm always surprised when I see people say Zimus needs to be nerfed / banned. Now, Phoenix was a problem. When it died, it did damage to you. It has a giant body. It comes in level 2. Like, it had so many problems. It was unbelievable. Zimus is just, yeah, exactly what Turka says. Zimus is a slow clock. He starts ticking from the first turn. They play Zimus 1, and you go, oh, okay. This is a Zimus deck. I'm on a clock now. He just played a Zimus 1. I have to be careful about how I play because he just played a Zimus 1. And right from there, you got to be careful, and you have to go from there.